2 months ago, these teams started the 2025 Western Canadian Baseball League regular season against one another down in Weyburn, Saskatchewan. That night, the Beavers defeated the Berries by a score of 9-0. Fast forward 2 months, and tonight starts the final week of the regular season. The Berries have gone 41-6 since then and are in first place by a long shot, both in the East Division of the WCBL and overall. And the Weyburn Beavers are going to miss the playoffs, having only won 12 times in their last 48 games. Good evening, Les Lazaruk with you. This is the first of a 2-game series at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field between the Saskatoon Berries and the Weyburn Beavers. The Berries are cruising towards the first place finish overall. Their magic number to clinch is 2. Any combination of Berries wins and or Okotoks losses totaling 2 this week will mean the Berries will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, which will start actually next Wednesday on the 6th of August. The Berries have a record of 41 wins and 7 losses. They lead the East Division by 9.5 games over Medicine Hat. They've clinched the first place finish in the East Division. The Berries have won 7 games in a row. They're 8-2 in their last 10, 21-2 on home field here at Next Gen Patch, and are 7-1 against Weyburn, with the last 2 head-to-head meetings coming up tonight and tomorrow. For the Beavers, 13 wins, 36 losses. They are 5th in the East Division. They have lost their last 2 games. They are 3-7 in their last 10, 4-19 on the road for the Weyburn Beavers, taking on the Saskatoon Berries here tonight, as we're just about set to take it downstairs for our national anthem. Fabulous night for baseball on a Tuesday evening at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field in Saskatoon. It's the Beavers and the Saskatoon Berries. Our umpires for tonight at home plate is Blake Tilley. At first base is Justin Anderson. And the third base umpire, the crew chief, is Matt Schul. For the Saskatoon Berries, defensively, they'll line up this way in the outfield from right to left. The right fielder is Ethan Murdoch, and center is Carter Beck, and the left fielder is Evan Janner. In the infield from left to right, the third baseman is Mason Rell, the shortstop Cooper Westland, second baseman Abiam Medina, and the first baseman Corey Waters. Rudy Gonzalez is the catcher, and tonight's starting pitcher is Calvin Junick, who's going to make his second appearance with the Saskatoon Berries since joining the team just a couple of weeks ago while the team was on the road. Calvin Junick is from Sebastian, Florida. A right-hander, 6'4", 210 pounds, coming off his freshman year at Coastal Carolina University. He started a week ago in Swift Current and got credit for the victory, pitching 4 innings. It was the back end of a doubleheader, so 4 innings was good enough for him that night. Gave up 2 hits, 1 run, it was earned, 2 strikeouts, and 1 walk for Calvin Junick, wearing 43 for the Saskatoon Berries. Our first chance here at home to take a look at him. And he'll face center fielder Ryan Muselar, first baseman Braden Mayencourt, and right fielder Ryan Daphne, the first three hitters for the Weyburn Beavers. Mayencourt and Daphne, big-time veterans playing in their fourth and final seasons in the WCBL. They will not have playoffs, unfortunately, for them. That they have been very good performers on behalf of the Beavers during their time with the team. As Junik will complete his tosses to catcher Rudy Gonzalez, and we'll get this game underway momentarily. It is, well, we haven't got the new conditions here, but mainly sunny skies here this evening. Last hour's readings were 22 degrees Celsius and a northwest wind at 9 kilometers per hour. I don't think it's going to change too terribly much when they update from the airport, Environment Canada. Flags are flapping a little bit, though, going from left field foul pole to right field foul pole, kind of a northwest type of a movement, which is what we were told here by Environment Canada. So still no update, though, for 7 o'clock conditions. But the warm-up tosses are done. Calvin Junik is ready to go. He'll face Ryan Muselar, the center fielder. Muselar from Grand Forks, North Dakota, coming off his junior year at Ball State University. Hitting .258, 17 hits and 66 at-bats. 3 home runs and 7 RBI. Right-handed hitter. Junik's first pitch is a fastball up high. Ball one as we're underway at 7:02 on Tuesday evening. Junik set and ready to deliver again. Fastball fouled back to the screen. Muselar just got a piece of it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ninth meeting of the season between these two teams. The Berries have won the last 7 after dropping the opening game of the year. Up and in, ball 2, 2-1. To Ryan Muselar. Berries in their home whites. 2-1 pitch, breaking ball in there for a strike, says home plate umpire Blake Tilley. Berries have a busy week. They had yesterday off. Pitch inside, full count. They got tonight and tomorrow against Weyburn. They go to Regina for 2 games on Thursday and Friday, and then come back for their final 3 regular season games at home. Muselar on the full count pitch pops it up high in the air. Shortstop Cooper Westland settles under it, makes the catch, and there's 1 away. Berries will finish off the year Saturday against Regina, Sunday against Medicine Hat, and then the holiday on Monday against the Mavericks as well. Here's Braden Mayencourt, veteran first baseman from Langley, BC, coming off his junior year at Central Baptist College. Takes a first pitch outside, ball 1. Mayencourt is in his 4th season with Swift Current. Hitting .276. That one's up high, ball 2. 47 hits and 170 at-bats for Mayencourt. 4 home runs, 32 RBI for the year. Junik's 2-0 offering is outside, ball 3. 3-0. Junik falls behind on the veteran Mayencourt. He takes all the way for strike 1. It's shocking to me to see anybody swing 3-0 at this level. 3-1 pitch on the ground towards first. Backhanded by Corey Waters. He'll flip to Junik covering at first for the second out. Waters gave a little ground there. Wasn't certain whether he should charge and try and take the short hop, and made the right decision by laying back a bit, taking the high hop, and making the play to Junik. So it'll bring up Ryan Doffney, also like Mayencourt, a veteran of this team, playing in his 4th season. Ryan Doffney from Surrey, BC, like Mayencourt, coming off his junior year at Central Baptist College. Big swing and a foul back by Doffney to the screen. Strike 1. Doffney hitting .317. 60 hits in 189 at-bats. He has the 5th most at-bats of anybody in the Western Canadian Baseball League. Junick's pitch, a breaking ball swing and a miss, strike 2. Doffney fooled on that. He was looking fastball and got something off speed. 4 home runs and 41 RBIs for Doffney. And strike 3 called. That'll end the inning. Good look for Calvin Junick in his first inning at home here as a member of the Saskatoon Berries. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base. After a half an inning, it is Weyburn nothing, and the Saskatoon Berries coming to bat. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. What's that? I didn't hear it.
What kind of dancing does, what's his name on, what's his name? Art Shack, like on that show. Friends. Break dancing.
I don't know.
Break dancing.
Oh.
That's the answer.
Ah. Okay.
I just think he answered it too quick. Give people a chance to think.
Yeah.
Well, so it was just a joke.
Well, it probably was because it was the first inning funny, so
Okay.
I would bet on that being the case.
Okay. 4.
Connor Knipp is the starting pitcher tonight for the Weyburn Beavers. Connor Knipp will make his 10th appearance of the season, but his first start. No decisions. He has 1 save, a 10.50 earned run average. He's only pitched 12 innings in 9 relief appearances. Allowed 14 hits, 15 runs, 14 of those earned, 10 strikeouts, and 7 walks. Knipp's last appearance was in relief at Regina on July 26th, back on Saturday. Part of a 5-2 Beavers win over the Red Sox. Knipp pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 hit. Got credit for the save, actually, that night. Walked the batter as well. He'll face Carter Beck to start the game tonight. Carter Beck, number 5 in the Western Canadian Baseball League in batting average at .378 for the Carnduff product. Knipp's already shaking off this catcher Rob Gurney for what he wants to throw. First pitch is a strike. It was obviously the right pitch to call. Beck hitting .378 as mentioned, 56 hits and 148 at-bats. High outside, ball 1, 1-1. 9 home runs and 40 RBI for Carter Beck on the year. Pitch up high again, ball 2, 2-1. Beck's 9 home runs tie him for 4th in the league in that department. 2-1 pitch. Chopped onto the ground towards second. Fielded there. And the throw to first not in time. Mitch Himmelsbach is a newcomer to the Weyburn Beavers, and he just learned pretty quickly that you have to hustle a little bit to make plays against a guy like Carter Beck, who runs down the line so well out of the left-hand batter's box. Himmelsbach took the second hop and took time transferring the ball from glove to hand to throw, and by that time, Beck was across first base. So now it's Ethan Menard. And Connor Knipp's first pitch to him is down and away, ball 1. Mentioned Beck is 5th in the league in batting average. Here's the guy with the number 1 average in the league, Ethan Menard at .412. He also leads the league in home runs with 12. Knipp with a throw over to first to check on Carter Beck, who has 9 stolen bases in 12 attempts this year. Beck takes his lead. Takes a bigger lead. And a pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Menard with 61 hits and 148 at-bats. Has 38 RBI to go along with the 12 home runs. Beck's going. Pitch up high. Rob Gurney's throw to second is not in time. Himmelsbach took it off of the bounce, and Beck slid past where the throw was going. Has stolen base number 10 on the year. Pitch was up high to Menard. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. A.B. Medina, the second baseman, on deck for the Berries. Duck on the pond for Menard, who's just out of the top 10 in RBI. And that pitch hits him in the back. So that puts runners on first and second. Nip looked like he's trying to throw a knuckleball or some such pitch like that there. Different type of grip. And that one got away from him indeed. So it comes up for A.B. Medina now with 2 men on and nobody out. Medina is 9th in the WCBL in batting average. You could say that about a lot of the guys. The Berries have 6 of the top 11 batting averages in the league. Ball 1 to Medina outside, which you should expect because the team hits .326 as a team, which is best in the WCBL. Connor Nip's 1-0 pitch is in for a strike. Again, the Berries, mentioned the average, tops in the league, tops in OPS at .917, on-base percentage plus slugging. So they don't just hit for average, they also hit for power with that average. Beck dancing around at second. A bunt attempt by Medina trying to fool the defense, and he fouls it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 59 home runs, which leads the league as a team for the Berries. The only one they don't lead in is stolen bases, and they're not far off of that. They have 123 stolen bases, now 124. So they're now actually tied with the Okotoks Dogs for top spot in that department. 1-2 pitch upcoming to ABM Medina is up high, 2-2. Mason Rell, the third baseman, on deck. Medina hitting .367 for that number 9 batting average in the league. Left-hand hitter. Outside, ball 3, a full count to Medina. Game of cat and mouse going on out at second base with Carter Beck the runner and the shortstop Zach Tanabe for Weyburn. Beck takes off, so is Menard taking off, and it's ball 4, so it doesn't matter. Menard had slowed up, and it's like, what are you doing slowing up? But then again, it's ball 4 on the 3-2 pitch. So the bases are loaded here in the bottom of the first inning, and it'll bring up Mason Rell, the cleanup hitter. Rell hitting .354. Doesn't have enough plate appearances to qualify for a spot in the top 10. First pitch taken for a strike. Actually, that's not true. He does qualify. He's just outside the top 10. Let me check on that. I mentioned the Berries have 6 of the top 11 batting averages in the league. Rell is 11th at .354. Fouls it back quickly behind 0-2 to Connor Nip. Rell with 52 hits and 147 at-bats, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Mason Rell from West Bend, Wisconsin. 0-2 pitch. Hits him on the left arm, and that'll be a tough to take RBI. But the Berries jump out in front 1-0 on the Hit batsman RBI. Rel's 30th run batted in. So here's Ethan Murdoch now. First pitch from Connor Nip up high, ball one. Murdoch hitting .310, 52 hits and 168 at-bats. 9 home runs, 47 runs batted in. That last one number, the 47 RBI, is 4th in the league. Fouls the pitch back, 1-1. Tied with Beck for 4th in home runs with 4. With 9, I should say. Also, Corey Waters, the on-deck batter, has 9 home runs. So he is part of that tie for 4th place in the league in home runs. 1-1 pitch coming up to Ethan Murdoch, up high, 2-1. So if you're Weyburn Beavers and Cam Williams, head coach, how much of a leash do you have on Connor Nip? Murdoch fouls this one up over top of the first base bleachers and out of play. 2-2 the count. Lights are on. They're always on for Barrie's games. Doesn't matter how nice it is outside. Mainly sunny skies, 21 degrees Celsius. West-northwest wind, 11 kilometers per hour. Murdoch line drive into right field, a base hit. Menard will come home. They'll hold up Abiam Medina at third base as the throw into the infield gets away briefly from the first baseman Mayencourt, but nobody advances. So an RBI for Ethan Murdoch. That is RBI number 48 on the season for him. Abiam Medina to third base, Mason Rell to second, and here comes Cam Williams out to talk with Connor Nip as we do have action just getting underway down the left field line in the Weyburn bullpen. Starting to throw is Weyburn product Keaton Husband. Connor Nip had not pitched against the Saskatoon Berries this season in any of his 10 or his 9 previous relief appearances. So here comes Corey Waters, one of 5 Saskatoonians on the Berries roster. Bases loaded, nobody away, 2 runs in. First pitch is in for a strike. Nip getting an opportunity to see if he can wiggle his way out of this. 1 strike pitch fouled off up high on the screen. 2 strikes on Corey Waters. Shortstop Cooper Westland on deck. Nip likes the sign he got from catcher Rob Gurney. 2-strike delivery is hit on the ground up the middle. It'll get through for a base hit. Medina in to score. Rounding third and coming on home to score as well is Mason Rell, and that makes it 4-0 as Ethan Murdoch pulls up at second base. Couple of RBI for Corey Waters. Give Waters RBIs 35 and 36 on the season. The first 6 guys have gotten on base for the Berries. 3 singles, 2 hit batsmen, and a walk. Now Cooper Westland. First pitch in for a strike. Westland 10th in the league in batting average at .360. 40 hits and 111 at-bats. 1 home run, 13 runs batted in. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2 on the product of Lincoln, Nebraska. Played at Hutchinson Community College and then this past year at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Hit in the air down the right field line, but that one is slicing foul. Out of play. Count holds at 0-2. Let's see what more we can tell you about Cooper Westland from Lincoln, Nebraska. Went to Lincoln North Star High School. 5'9", 165-pounder. Looks at called strike 3. First out of the inning. Connor Nip gets a badly needed strikeout with Keaton Husband in behind him warming up. Westland now followed by Rudy Gonzalez. Catcher up for the first time tonight. Rudy Gonzalez playing in his 11th game since joining the Berries late in June. First pitch down and away, ball 1. Gonzalez hitting .276 with 8 home runs and 29 runs batted in. 8 for 29 is his average, his batting stats. He has 4 RBI as he fouls one off down the right field side into the batting cage. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gonzalez has spent the last 2 years at the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. Foul back to the screen, 1-2. Ethan Murdoch at second base, Corey Waters at first. 4 runs in for the Berries here in the bottom of the first inning. 1 away. Evan Janner on deck. Connor Nip swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Nip. And 2 away for the Berries here in the bottom of the first inning. They'll bat around. Evan Janner will come to the plate. The number 9 hitter hitting .264. 24 hits and 91 at-bats. 4 home runs and 23 runs batted in. Janner doubled that home run number the last game the Berries played back on Sunday in Moose Jaw, as he had 2 home runs and 5 RBI. He looks at ball 1. Berries won that game in Moose Jaw 13-3 back on Sunday. Their 7th straight win. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Connor Nip battling back. First 6 guys reached base, struck out the next 2. Would like to finish the inning right here without guys getting a chance to bat for a second time in this inning. 1-1 count. Janner fouls that one off, and that'll be into the parking lot off the top of a truck or a vehicle out there. Off the roof of a vehicle. No, it wasn't black. Looks green. 1-2 count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Nip strikes out the side after he gave up 4 runs. 6 guys reached base, and now 3 straight strikeouts for Connor Nip, and that's the end of the first inning. For the Berries, a good start. 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no Weyburn errors and 2 runners left on base. After 1 inning complete, it's the Saskatoon Berries 4, the Weyburn Beavers no score. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Second inning upcoming from Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Calvin Junick has been staked to a 4-0 lead. Junek threw 14 pitches to get through the top of the first inning, 3 up, 3 down. He'll face the middle third of the Weyburn order. Third baseman Trevor Dales, left fielder Luke Malzewski, and shortstop Zach Tanabe here in the top of the second inning. Trevor Dale, the cleanup man, has 7 of the 33 home runs that the Weyburn Beavers have hit as a team. Those 7 home runs are the most of anybody on the Beavers roster, as Blake Tilley does some house cleaning around the home plate area, dusting it off with his whisk. Now we're set and ready to go. Right-handed hitting Trevor Dale up. First pitch down low, ball 1. Dale from West Valley City, Utah, coming off his junior year at the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs. Down low again for ball 2, 2-0 to Trevor Dale, who's hitting .290. 49 hits in 169 at-bats. Swing and a miss at a 2-0 pitch, 2-1. Dale, 7 home runs and 21 RBI. He's in the top 5 in an offensive category in the league, tied for 4th in runs with 53, and he hits a base hit into left field on the 2-1 pitch. So Weyburn has their first base runner of the night. It'll bring up left fielder Luke Malzewski. Malzewski from Seattle, Washington, coming off his sophomore year at Whitman College. Dale at first. Junek pitching out of the stretch for the first time tonight and delivers a strike. I don't know. You're fine. One strike count is outside, ball 1. One pitch. Malzewski sends it into shallow center field in the air. Carter Beck coming on will make the catch. And Trevor Dale will retreat back to first base. Now Zach Tanabe, the shortstop, coming up, hitting .206. 29 hits and 141 at-bats. A home run and 12 RBIs for Tanabe from Waipahu, Hawaii, coming off his senior year at Graceland University. One away, top of the second inning. Curveball hit in the air, left center field. Beck coming over, he'll make the catch. Beck read that one off the bat well and was moving with the crack of the bat into the right spot. Easily makes the grab, and there's 2 away. So now catcher Rob Gurney coming to the plate. Gurney hitting .163 in his 3rd season. Coming off his junior year at the University of Pikeville. Gurney is from Campbell River, BC. 17 hits and 104 at-bats for the right-hand hitter. 2 home runs and 7 RBI on the season. Junek's first pitch is a called strike. It's all quiet on the bullpen front down both outfield lines here at Next Gen Patch. Up high, ball 1, 1-1 to Rob Gurney. Bryker Smith, the designated hitter, on deck for the Beavers. Excuse me, swing by Gurney, rolled it back to the mound. Junek will underhand to first to finish off the inning. Gurney had no intention of following through on that swing, but made contact and a little roller back to the mound. So 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, no Barry's errors. After an inning and a half, it is Saskatoon 4 and Weyburn no score as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Connor Knipp back out for the Weyburn Beavers to pitch here in the bottom of the second inning. Unofficially threw 37 pitches in the first inning, going and facing all 9 hitters in the Barry's lineup. Finished strong, striking out the last 3 after letting the first 6 guys on base. We're just waiting on Rob Gurney, who was the last out in the top of the second inning, to get back into position. And Knipp will finish off his warm-up tosses to him, and we'll get the bottom of the second inning underway here. Again, these same 2 teams will play tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Saskatoon Berries and the Weyburn Beavers, final week of the regular season. Carter Beck singled, stole second, and came in on the Mason Rell hit by pitch back in the first inning. Beck now has hits in 5 of his last 6 games. 10 for 21 in that time. First pitch is in for a strike. Connor Knipp seems to have found his rhythm, although that one is outside, ball 1. Beck hitting .476 in the last 5 games plus, swinging and a miss at a pitch up in the zone, 1-2. DH Ethan Menard and second baseman Abiam Medina due up here in the bottom of the second inning against Connor Knipp. 1-2 pitch is outside, 2-2. I think Knipp needs to abandon that knuckleball or whatever pitch he was trying to throw. This one's hit back up the middle, and it'll get through into the outfield for a base hit. Beck's 2 for 2. Knipp took something off of that, and Beck sent it right back up through the box. Menard was hit by a pitch back in the first inning, eventually scored on an Ethan Murdoch single. Menard is on a 19-game hitting streak as Knipp with a throw over to first to check on Carter Beck, who stole his 10th base of the season back in the last inning in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss by Menard, strike 1. During that 19-game hitting streak, he has 36 hits in 89 at-bats, hitting .404 in that time. Fouls a pitch back high onto the screen, 2 strikes. .404 over the last 19 games is actually a touch below his season average of .412. But he does have 5 home runs and 17 RBIs during those 19 games. 1-0-2 pitch up high, 1-2. A.B. Medina is on deck. Ethan Menard, of course, the MVP of the All-Star game a couple of weeks back in Okotoks. Beck started to go and then held up as Menard fouls a pitch back. The count holds at 1-2 strikes. And again, there's action down the left field line in the Swift Current bullpen, and it's Keaton Husband again. Beck takes off this time, swing and a miss, a strikeout. The throw down to second is on the third base side of the bag, and Beck slides in safely while Menard strikes out. First out here of the bottom of the second inning. A.B. and Medina to the plate. Product of Ponce, Puerto Rico. Coming off his senior year at Texas A&M International University in Laredo. First pitch swinging on the ground. Juggled at second base, but thrown on to first. Himmelsbach makes the play as Beck makes his way down to third base, and there's 2 out. Medina came into the game tonight on a 13-game hitting streak, so that hasn't improved yet. Mason Rell, hit by a pitch, drove in a run back in the first inning. He'll get an opportunity here to keep this inning alive. Connor Knipp's first pitch to him is in there for a strike. Rell is 13 for 29, or 448 on his 7-game hitting streak. That's strike 2 taken by Rell. So he's in the hole, 0-2, with Carter Beck on third base, his Indiana State University teammate. Rell into the right-hand batter's box. Nip up 0-2. Foul back to the screen. Count holds at 2 strikes. Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, on deck. Rell with 7 RBI on his streak. Up high, ball 1. Keaton Husband has sat down since, thanks to the 2 outs collected here by Nip in the bottom of the second inning. His pitch count's still up there. Don't know how long Cam Williams will go with him, as that one's upstairs. 2-2 the count. Up over 50 pitches already for Connor Nip, who hasn't been a starter. He's been a bullpen guy all year. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Connor Nip gets out of the second inning with just the 1 run, or just the 1 hit, and the 1 runner left on third base in Carter Beck. No errors by Weyburn in the inning. 5 strikeouts for Connor Nip through 2 innings, but he's also given up 4 runs on 4 hits so far. As after 2 complete here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, it's Saskatoon 4, Weyburn no score. You're watching Barry's Baseball on FloCollege.
Did I miss anything?
Let me just see here. Just this. Who? Oh. Okay. I think so, yeah. Well, I can't tell which one. There's a lot of people there, so.
Yeah, anyway, so we're good?
Yep, we're good, yep.
Is there anybody left on base?
I put it on already.
21.
Breaker Smith, Mitch Himmelsbach, and the top of the order, Ryan Muslar. Guaranteed to hit here for Weyburn in the top of the third inning. It's 4-0. The Saskatoon Berries leading the Weyburn Beavers. Calvin Junick on the mound for the Berries, starting into his third inning of work. In his second start, Breaker Smith coming up for the first time tonight. Smith is where do we find him on this roster? There he is. He's one of their catchers. They have 3 catchers listed. Robert Gurney is catching tonight, so Breaker Smith is the DH. He's from Sturgis, Saskatchewan. Right-hand hitter. First pitch down low, ball 1. Breaker Smith coming off his freshman year at Monterey Peninsula Community College. 1-0 pitch is on the inside corner for a strike. Smith hitting 170, 8 hits and 47 at-bats, has 4 RBI for the Weyburn Beavers. Calvin Junick rocks into his windup and fires one high over everybody to the backstop. You might have heard the thud off of the bottom of the backstop. A little bit of padding there. 2 balls and a strike. Undeterred, Junick throws. This one's on the ground towards short, and unable to come up with it cleanly is Cooper Westland. And that'll be an error on Westland at short, allowing the leadoff man for Weyburn to get on here in the third inning. Top of the third. So Mitch Himmelsbach is new to this team. He and his brother Chase just joining the team recently. Chase has only played in 1 game and only has 1 at-bat. Called strike on the Weyburn second baseman. So Mitch Himmelsbach plays second base. Chase Himmelsbach is an outfielder, according to the Berries roster, or to the Weyburn roster. Up high, ball 1, 1-1. Mitch Himmelsbach's first at-bat in the WCBL. Welcome, son, to the league. Fouled back to the screen, 1-2. Top of the order, Ryan Muslar, the center fielder on deck for Weyburn. Junick with a 1-2 count. Again, up high in the zone, but fouled back to the screen by Himmelsbach. Count holds at a ball and 2 strikes. Junick ready to deliver again. 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. This one's going to be flared into right field, but Murdoch, playing shallow, is there to make the catch. 1 away. Shadows off the building that houses our broadcast location. All the scorekeepers, public address, the music man, the DJ. I said our broadcast location. And the building also, of course, has the diamond seating right behind home plate. And then on the other side, up the first base side, is a couple of separate suites. One for Berries executives, the other one is for the public, which can be bought for a price. You can hold a group event in there. That space is used every game. Up and in on Muslar, 2-0. Junick has fallen behind the center fielder. Popped out to the shortstop, Cooper Westland, his first time up. 1 away, runner on first for Weyburn here in the top of the third inning. 4-0, Saskatoon with the lead. There's a called strike. Braden Mayencourt, the first baseman, on deck. Two and one pitch. Inside, 3-1. Muselar started to swing, held up, and actually jumped back when he realized that that pitch was staying inside. Calvin Junix 3-1 is hit on the ground. Rell up with it at third. To second for one. The first, not in time. Muselar beats it out, so 2 away as Riker Smith is out. Third baseman to second baseman Medina on the play. 2 away, and it'll be Braden Mayencourt who grounded out to the first baseman Corey Waters his first time up. Junix first pitch to Mayencourt is down low, gets away from Gonzalez, and Muselar will move up to second base on a wild pitch from Calvin Junix. Ball one on Mayencourt. Or ball one to Mayencourt would be the proper terminology. I make it up as I go along. Been doing that for 45 years. That one's inside, past Mayencourt and all the way back to the backstop. And Muselar advances to third base on a wild pitch. So back-to-back wild pitches put Weyburn on third base in the form of Ryan Muselar. Braden Mayencourt needs a safe hit, though, with 2 away to bring him home. And he pops this one into shallow left center field. Evan Janner coming over. He'll make the catch, and that is the end of the inning. For the Weyburn Beavers in the top of the third inning, no runs, no hits, 1 Barry's error, 1 runner left on base. After 2.5, Saskatoon 4, Weyburn no score, as you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Let me have a look. Need that one back one. And then over here. Okay. Bottom of the third inning. Connor Knipp back out on the mound for the Weyburn Beavers. Seems to have settled down after allowing the first 6 Berries hitters in the bottom of the first inning to reach base and gave up 4 runs. Has retired 6 of the last 7, 5 of them by strikeout. As he'll face Ethan Murdoch, who hit a sharp single into right field and drove in a run back in the first inning. That improved Murdoch's hitting streak to 7 games. Up high with the first pitch from Knipp, ball 1. Fouled back to the screen, 1-1. Knipp at 56 pitches unofficially. 57 now, and fouled back again by Murdoch. 1-2 the count. Ethan Murdoch on his 7-game hitting streak is 9 for 22, which is 409. 11 RBI in that time as well. Breaking ball in there called strike 3. Off-speed breaking pitch, and Murdoch was unable to pull the trigger on the swing, so there's one away. 6 strikeouts for Connor Knipp. It'll bring up Corey Waters, who singled and drove in 2 runs back in the first inning. Fouls the first pitch high onto the screen, strike 1. Waters, mentioned from Saskatoon, going to be heading to Winthrop University in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Pitch is bound down low, ball 1-1-1. This one hit on the ground, and it'll take a bad hop on Tanabe, who was looking to backhand it, and it jumped over his glove into left center field. Waters is on with a single. Base hit, 2 for 2 for Corey Waters. 5th hit of the night for the Berries. Brings up Cooper Westland, who was the first out. Made by the Berries in the ball game. The number 7 hitter back in the bottom of the first inning. Westland hits the first pitch, popped up foul and out of play, strike 1. Westland has hits in 10 of his last 11 games. In that time, Westland is hitting .472, 17 hits and 36 at-bats. 1 strike count to the right-handed hitter. He hits this one in the air to right field, drifting back and in position to make the catch, and doing so is Ryan Daphne, and there's 2 away. So now Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher who struck out his first time up, had the shin guards on in case he didn't have to hit, but now he will. He'll use the same bat that Cooper Westland just used as the right-handed hitter from Edinburgh, Texas, strides to home plate. Also from the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. First pitch swinging, hits a high fly ball, center field, but there in right center to make the catch is Ryan Muselaar, and that's the end of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Berries get 1 hit. They leave a man on base. No swift current errors. We've played 3 complete. It's the Saskatoon Berries 4, the Weyburn Beavers no score, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yep. Let's have a look at the unofficial line score through 3 innings of play. For the Saskatoon Berries, 4 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 1 error. They've left 4 runners on base. For the Weyburn Beavers, no runs on 1 hit. They have not committed an error, and they've left 2 runners on base. As Calvin Junick back out to pitch for the Berries here in the top of the 4th inning. He'll face the meat of the order, hitters 3, 4, and 5 for Weyburn. Right fielder Ryan Doffney, third baseman Trevor Dale, and left fielder Luke Malzewski. Doffney 0 for his last 7. As he comes up, he struck out to end the first inning. I mentioned Doffney is 5th in the league in at-bats coming into tonight. Now with 190. Tied for 4th in doubles with 15. 8th in RBI with 41. And tied for 4th in sacrifice flies with 5 as he takes a first pitch strike from Calvin Junick. Doffney easily the most consistent hitter on the Weyburn team. Called strike 2 on a breaking ball. And Doffney goes for a little bit of a walk, taking a timeout. Not all that happy with the way this at-bat has started. 2-strike pitch, hit up the middle, and it'll get into center field for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Weyburn as a team. They'll bring up Trevor Dale, who had the first hit off of Junick, leading off the second inning. That extended Trevor Dale's hitting streak to 6 games, during which he is 8 for 21, which is .381. How smart is it that I finally realized that I can put my calculator on the laptop up and use it to figure out averages. Swing and a miss, strike 1 for Trevor Dale. A little slow on the uptake sometimes I am. He has an RBI only during that 6-game streak. This one up the first base line. Waters, backhand play, and now they have Doffney caught in a rundown. They'll flip it back to first, and he'll be tagged out by Waters. Hard hit ball by Dale up the first baseline, and it took a little bit of a funny hop, but Waters was able to stick with it backhand and touch the bag at the same time, which took the force off at second base. When he threw down to second, Doffney knew it, but he was caught in the rundown, and that's a double play ball. And it brings up the left fielder Luke Malzewski as there's 2 away here in the fourth inning, I should say. Malzewski flew out to center field his first time up. Pitch down and in, ball 1. Malzewski 1 for his last 13 in 3+ games. Fouls a pitch straight back to the screen, 1-1. Again, the Berries have a magic number of 2 with which to clinch first place overall in the Western Canadian Baseball League. But that's not the only thing they're looking at. Malzewski hits one deep right center field. That is well hit, and it'll one-hop the fence. Beck will catch up with it. Malzewski into second and will hold there with a stand-up double. Luke Malzewski with good contact there. And now it'll bring up to Zach Tanabe, the shortstop, to bring him in. Tanabe flew out to center field his first time up. He's 2 for 14 in his last 4+ games. That one I don't need the calculator for. That's 143 in that time for the right-hand hitter. Open stance in the right-hand batter's box, takes a strike. Junick, 2 away, 1 strike on Tanabe. Down low and outside, a good block by Rudy Gonzalez. 1 ball, 1 strike. Berries can't clinch first place overall tonight. Okotoks is not in action. Breaking ball in for a strike. 1-2. The best the Berries can do tonight is tie, or be in a position where the magic number's down to 1. They'd finish up tied with Okotoks if Okotoks was to win out, and the Berries lost every game the rest of the way. Fouled off. Staying alive is Zach Tanabe at 1-2. Berries with 41 wins. They have 8 games left to play. One of those is a game in Medicine Hat that may not be played because it may not have any bearing on the standings. It's been rained out twice. Tanabe hits this one high in the air. Foul territory. A couple of guys coming over to have a look, and it hits off the top of the fence. And count remains at 1-2. Both Cooper Westland and Mason Rell went over to have a look and couldn't quite get into the position to make the catch there. His ball was catchable. Tanabe with a 1-2 count again. Hanging in there against Calvin Junick. Swing and a ball hit back to the screen as Tanabe again. 3 straight foul offs with a 1-2 count. Rob Gurney, the catcher, on deck. Tanabe raising the pitch count of Calvin Junick with this at bat. This one is poked into right center field. It'll get down for a base hit. Ethan Murdoch up with the ball, throws it into the infield and cut off by Corey Waters. In to score is Luke Malzewski, and Weyburn is on the board. 2 out double and single, and Zach Tanabe has his 13th RBI of the year for Weyburn, making the score 4-1 Saskatoon. So now Rob Gurney will come to the plate. Gurney, a check swing comebacker to the mound, back in the second inning. Three hits for Weyburn in this inning. One was erased on a double play, and then the back-to-back 2-out hits. First pitch to Gurney, down low, ball 1. As I was starting to say with regards to the Berries schedule, 8 games left, may only be 7, as it's unlikely that the game in Medicine Hat that's been rained out twice will be played, but that's still to be determined. Hit in the air to right field. Murdoch sends back a couple of steps in position, makes the catch. That's the end of the top of the 4th inning. But Weyburn gets a run on 3 hits. There were no Berries errors and 1 runner left on base after 3.5. It is Saskatoon 4, Weyburn 1, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yep. Yep. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here in the Western Canadian Baseball League tonight. 4 other games underway here on Tuesday, July the 29th. Top of the 4th inning in Sylvan Lake, the Gulls lead the Energy City Cactus Rats 4-0. Bottom of the third in Swift Current, 57s and Medicine Hat are tied 4-4. Top of the fourth inning in Brooks, the Bombers lead Lethbridge by a score of 1-0. And in the bottom of the third inning in Moose Jaw, Miller Express lead the Regina Red Sox 3-1. As I mentioned, Okotoks not in action tonight, nor is Fort McMurray. Those two teams were supposed to play a doubleheader last night in Okotoks, and the Giants refused to play and forfeited both games because they didn't like the condition of the field at Siemens Stadium in Okotoks. They felt it was wet, too wet to be played on, and they got themselves into a little bit of trouble with the league, from what I understand. Significant fine to the Fort McMurray team as Evan Janner, the leadoff man in the bottom of the fourth inning, fouls one back onto the screen for strike one against Connor Knipp, the starting pitcher for Weyburn, who's still out there. Yeah, significant fine, and you give up the 2 games. 2 Okotoks victories. Foul tip. 2 strikes on Janner. Evans struck out in the first inning to finish off the bottom of the first when the Berries scored their 4 runs. Fort McMurray is in a battle for a playoff spot. Hit on the ground towards second base. Nice play by Himmelsbach. The throw to first. Janner runs into the first baseman, and the first baseman gets the worst of that as Mayencourt was up the first base line to take the throw from Mitch Himmelsbach. Didn't come up with the catch, and he and Janner collided. Janner, entitled to run through the base, collided with Mayencourt, who tries to wave off. Head coach Cam Williams says, "I'm okay," but he's limping noticeably on his right leg a little. And what are we going to call that now? It's either going to be an error on the second baseman or the first baseman. Second baseman on the throw by Himmelsbach. So Janner reaches on the error, first one of the night for Weyburn. Brings up the top of the order Carter Beck, who's 2 for 2, a couple of singles, a couple of stolen bases, a run scored back in the first inning. Berries with a 4-1 lead. Janner loves to run when he's on the base. Beck fouls the first pitch off into the parking lots. On the third base side, strike one. Evan Janner has a team-leading 19 steals in 20 attempts. Throw over to first to check on him, and he had to dive back to the bag. Janner's jersey is dirty already. Got the big lead at first. Knipp held onto the ball for a bit. Beck now with a fly ball into right field. Well hit, and this one's going to one-hop the fence in right center. Janner had to wait to see where that would end up. He'll get around to third. Beck into second with a double. And with nobody out, the Berries have 2 men in scoring position here for Ethan Menard. Menard is 0 for 1, struck out his last time up, hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. He has hit Weyburn pitching extremely well this season, head-to-head. .514 is his average against the Beavers. 18 for 35 with 2 home runs and 10 RBI, and the first pitch is inside from Connor Knipp, ball 1. Ethan lives for these situations. And he hits a line drive into straightaway center field. Going back, making the catch, Muselar. Coming in, though, to score from third base is Evan Janner. Connor Beck advances to third. It's a sacrifice fly for Menard to center field. And the first out. And Ethan's 39th RBI of the season to make it 5-1 for the Berries. So now Abiam Medina, the second baseman, up. Medina, first pitch grounded out to the second baseman. Himmelsbach back in the second inning. Weyburn plays the infield in, a ground ball right to the first baseman, Daphne, who juggled it but is able to pick it up while watching Carter Beck at third base and made sure he didn't advance, then picked up the ball and stepped on the bag for the second out. So now Mason Rell, who struck out his last time up, was hit by a pitch and scored a run back in the first inning. That was a painful RBI for him back in the first inning as it came with the bases loaded and brought in Carter Beck for the first run of the game. First pitch to Rell is in for a strike. Again, there was action down the left field line. Nip's pitch count, he was at 64 unofficially coming into the inning. And Keaton Husband is up for another time, a third time tonight, throwing in the bullpen. Rell hit the spread to right field with a base hit. That gets by Himmelsbach, and in to score to make it 6-1 is Carter Beck. Rell with his second RBI of the night, driving in Beck both times. Rell improves his hitting streak to 8 games on the season with that hit. In the 8 games, he's hitting .452, 14 for 31. Now Ethan Murdoch, first pitch swinging. Grounder, Himmelsbach has some problems with it initially, but recovers with time to throw out Murdoch and finish up the inning. But the Berries score another couple of runs on 2 hits. There was 1 swift current error and 1 runner left on base. After 4, Saskatoon 6, Weyburn 1. You're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. I would say so, yes.
I'm just frozen. Yeah, I thought about it earlier today. Such a nice hot day. There's no way it'll go up. Up here it does. It's supposed to rise, but it's just not rising enough. Did I miss something? No.
This has got some age to it.
Oh, yeah. You know it. You know it.
eBay for $5.
Calvin Junick out for the top of the 5th inning. This is the magic inning for a starting pitcher in a 9-inning ball game. You get through 5 with the lead, and that lead holds, then you are the winning pitcher of record. So it's a big deal. Big deal for the starting pitcher.
Oh, thank you.
Breaker Smith, the designated hitter. Mitch Himmelsbach, the second baseman. And back to the top of the order, Ryan Muselaar will be up for Weyburn here in the top of the 5th against Calvin Junick. Smith got on an error to the shortstop, Cooper Westland, leading off the 3rd inning. Smith 0 for 9 over the course of his last 4 games plus at the plate. Junick's first pitch and a big swing and miss from Breaker Smith, strike 1. Unofficially, Calvin Junick will throw his 60th pitch right away on this next offering. Down low, ball 1, 1-1. Mentioned Breaker Smith is from Sturgis, Saskatchewan. Not Sturgis, South Dakota, where all the motorcycle rallies happen. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike 2, 1-2. Easy for people to get that mixed up, but not the people in Sturgis, Saskatchewan. They're very aware. Up high, 2-2 the count. Again, all's quiet in the bullpen front on both sides. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's just the second strikeout of the night for Calvin Junick. He has not walked a batter yet. Uses his defense. He's given up 4 hits and has allowed the 1 run. Mitch Himmelsbach up. Flew out to right field in his first WCBL at bat. Check swing, appeal at first. Not allowed. Ball 1. Junick rocks into his delivery. Fouls this off into the screen. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Himmelsbach on the ground. Westland, nice room service hop for him. Throws it across. In time, 2 away. Brings up Ryan Muselar, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Pop up and a fielder's choice. 0 for 9 over his last 2+ games for Muselar. Shouldn't really be getting cold on the last few days of July, but they are saying the low tonight will be 10 here in Saskatoon. That's still 50 degrees Fahrenheit if you think of the old system. And for the benefit of those down south who hear me say 10 degrees and go, God, it's cold up there. Pitch off the glove of Rudy Gonzalez. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. 10 Celsius is 50 Fahrenheit. Up here, if you told me 50 Fahrenheit for most of the year, I would take it. How about those nice days in January when it's minus 40? Down low, 2-1 the count. Right now it's mainly sunny skies here in Saskatoon. 19 Celsius, that's 66 Fahrenheit. Down low, ball 3, 3-1 to Muselar. Wind out of the northwest at 8 kilometers per hour. That's 5 miles per hour. Again, for the folks down south who use that system. Here's one on the ground, 2 hops. Westland up with it, the throw across in time to get Ryan Muselar by a half a step at first base. And a 1-2-3, top of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no Barry's errors, nobody left on base. After 4.5, we're halfway through. It is Saskatoon 6 and Weyburn 1. You're watching Barry's Baseball on FloCollege. Pitching change. Pitching change, number 1.
And my mother was born in 26. Old parents, 8 kids.
Yeah, so you would have been the youngest one.
No, I got 3 or 2 boys, younger.
Wow. So they had kids later in life.
No, my mom had their first 26 or 26, yeah.
Top or bottom of the 5th inning, I should say, here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. We have a pitching change for the Swift Current, or for the Weyburn Beavers, I should say. Keaton Husband, who is a Weyburn product, coming on. 5'10", 175-pound right-hander, coming off his freshman year at Minnesota West Community College. Let's we take a look here and find some info stats-wise on Keaton Husband. He's making his 15th appearance of the season, all in relief. No decisions, a 10.71 earned run average. Keaton Husband has pitched 21 innings, has allowed 33 hits, 34 runs, 25 of them earned, struck out 10 and walked 18. Keaton Husband last pitched on the 27th, back on Sunday in Regina. A 4-0 loss for the Beavers. Keaton Husband pitched an inning, allowed an earned run on 2 hits in that outing. He's pitched a couple of times against Saskatoon this year, 3 times in fact. June 14th here in a 12-5 loss, he pitched an inning, gave up an earned run on 2 hits. He'll face Corey Waters to start the bottom of the 5th inning. His first pitch, Waters hits it on the ground. Nice hop for shortstop Tanabe. Throw on to first, one away. Waters retired for the first time tonight after having a couple of singles his first time up and a couple of RBI. Brings up Cooper Westland, who's 0 for 2. Struck out in the first, flew out to right in the third. Keaton Husband also pitched back on July 3rd here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field in the 22-4 Berries win. 2 1/3 innings that night. Gave up 3 hits, a run earned, struck out 2, walked 2. And on July 21st in Weyburn, as Westland shows bunt and then takes a pitch for a strike. Breaking ball from Keaton Husband. That night on July 21st, a 14-2 Berries win. Husband pitched 2 innings. Gave up 5 runs, all earned on 3 hits and 3 walks. Curved ball hit in the air, line drive, left center field. Coming over to his right and making the catch is Ryan Muselar for the second out. So it'll bring up Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher. Gonzalez is 0 for 2. Struck out in the first, flew out to center in this 3rd inning. 6-1 Berries lead here in the bottom of the 5th on a pleasant Tuesday night here in Saskatoon. Off-speed offering. First pitch to Gonzalez is down low, ball 1. Evan Janner on deck for the Berries. Down and in, ball 2. Two-0 count. And a pitch in there for a strike as Gonzalez takes. Rudy Gonzalez with hits in 4 of his last 5 games coming in tonight. He was hitting .375 in that time, 3 RBIs. Breaking pitch stays inside, 3-1. 3-1 pitch upcoming on Rudy Gonzalez. Hit high in the air. Moving in is center fielder Muselar. He'll get under it, make the catch, and that's a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 5th inning for Keaton Husband and the Weyburn Beavers. No runs, no hits, no Weyburn errors, nobody left on base. After 5, Saskatoon 6, Weyburn 1 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. No. That's telling me, well, it is somewhat of a warning. They're telling me that I haven't done my solitaire, although I thought I did. 389 days worth. I've done well. Oh, new pitcher. New pitcher into the ball game for the Saskatoon Berries, Diego Quinones, is coming on. Diego has been a starter most of the season for the Berries, but that is changing up here now late in the year as different people come on. Calvin Junick has come in and taken over a starting spot. Quinones will make his first relief appearance of the season. 9th appearance overall this year. 3-0 record for him, a 4.63 earned run average. Diego Quinones has pitched 33 innings, has allowed 35 hits, 20 runs, 17 of them earned, has struck out 20, and walked 11. Quinones from La Cruces, New Mexico, coming off his senior year at Weyburn International University. He'll come in and face the 2-3-4 hitters in the lineup for Weyburn. Braden Mayencourt, Ryan Daphne, and Trevor Dale. Diego's last start was against the Beavers back on the 21st in Weyburn. It's his only appearance against Weyburn this year. Pitched 5 innings in a 9-2 win, got the win decision. First pitch is down low to Braden Mayencourt, ball 1. Mayencourt 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 9 in his last 2+ games. Diego in those 5 innings back on the 21st as this one's popped up foul, 1-1. Gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, struck out 4, walked 2 that night. Diego Quinones. Outside, ball 2 I should say, 2-1. Top of the 6th inning. Ryan Daphne, the right fielder, and Trevor Dale, the third baseman. Guaranteed to hit against Quinones here in the top of the 6th. Mayencourt fouls that one off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quinones ready to deliver a 2-2 pitch. Hit on the ground towards the shortstop Westland. Cooper Westland with it, throws it on across. In time, 1 away. Westland booted the first chance that came his way back in the 3rd inning. Since then has handled 5 chances flawlessly, including the last 3 outs that Weyburn have made. Ryan Daphne coming to the plate now. Daphne 1 for 2, singled his last time up back in the 4th inning, but was out in a double play situation as he takes a called strike on the inside corner from Diego Quinones. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Slider that Daphne fooled there. Down 0-2 is the Weyburn right fielder. Quinones ready to go again. Fastball up high, 1-2. One-two pitch. Up and in. 2-2 the count. Daphne's got a good eye. Good hitter for this Weyburn team and a veteran of this league, as mentioned before, 4th year in the league. Seen everything. Now a little looper will be taken behind second base. Medina, the throw is going to be off target and wouldn't have been in time anyway, as he didn't get a lot on that throw, and it'll be a base hit in the infield for Ryan Daphne. Put it where nobody could really make an effective play on it. So 2 hits for Daphne tonight. He had been 0 for his last 7 coming into his last 2 at-bats. Trevor Dale now singled back in the 2nd inning and grounded into a double play the last time up. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Quinones. Strike one. Diego Quinones played a lot of college ball. One strike pitch. Hit foul in the air and will get into the seats. Actually, just in behind the first base bleachers. 2 strikes on Dale. Diego Quinones has pitched for Luna Community College in Las Vegas, New Mexico, for Ottawa University in Ottawa, Kansas, and for Weyburn International University in Babson Park, Florida. So he's moved around a little bit. New Mexico, Kansas, Florida to play college baseball. And here this summer in Saskatoon, another foul off down the first base side and in behind the bleachers again. Count holds 0-2 on Trevor Dale. 4 years of college, Diego Quinones with a record of 16 wins and 11 losses, a 4.96 earned run average, 182 strikeouts in 177 and 2/3 innings. That one's low and away. Ball one. 1-2. On deck is Luke Malzewski, the left fielder. Quinones with Daphne on first. 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, and it'll get past Mason Rell down the third baseline. Janner hustles over, get the ball back into the infield, but into third safely is Daphne, and into second is Trevor Dale. And what are we calling that, official scores? It's going to be an error on the third baseman, Mason Rell, and that will move runners into scoring position at second and third with one away. So now Luke Malzewski to the plate. He doubled his last time up and scored the only Weyburn run to this point in the ball game. First pitch to Malzewski from Quinones is down low, ball one. 6-1 the score. Weyburn looking to rally here, get back into this ball game. Right-handed hitting Malzewski, and in there for a strike. 1-1. Malzewski against the Berries this year is 2 for 11. 182. Fouls that up high onto the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes on the left fielder. From Seattle, Washington, Malzewski. On the ground. Big high hop for Westland. The throw on to first. Waters can't come up with it. It's up high, and he missed the tag on the runner going by. A run scores. Daphne in from third. Dale over to third base, and Malzewski reaches on the throwing error by Westland. So back-to-back errors. And there's still only one away here for Weyburn, as it's now 6-2. And Zach Tanabe to the plate. He singled and drove in the first Weyburn run back in the 4th inning. First pitch swinging, pops it up. Foul territory and in play. Corey Waters will make the catch. Just away kitty corner from the Berries first base dugout. And that's 2 away. So it'll bring up Rob Gurney, the catcher, who's 0 for 2. Ground out and fly out. Gurney 2 for 19 against the Berries head-to-head. This is a third-year player on the Weyburn roster. But he does have a home run against the Berries. First pitch taken for a strike. A home run and 2 RBIs for Gurney head-to-head against the Berries this year. If he goes yard now, it would be an interesting ball game. Berries try and make sure that doesn't happen. He'll hit a chopper towards short. Westland can't pick it cleanly. And in to score is Dale from third. And there's runners on first and second with 2 away. That one slowly hit towards the shortstop. It was do or die, and even if he picks it cleanly, does he get a pretty good runner, Gurney at first base? Are we calling it an error? We are indeed. On the shortstop, Westland. So back-to-back errors on Cooper Westland. 3 of them in the inning for the Berries. 6-3 the score. And the first pitch is a strike to Breaker Smith. He reached on an error in the 3rd inning. Struck out in the 5th. 6-3 the score. Berries with the lead. 2 runs in for Weyburn. Swing and a miss. Smith behind Quinones. 0-2. Couple of unearned runs here for Weyburn in this top of the 6th inning. Just 1 hit. 2-strike pitch. Called strike 3. That'll end the inning. But Weyburn gets back into this game. They're down 2, but they're down 3, I should say, at 6-3. They scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 3 Berries errors and 2 runners left on base. After 5.5, Saskatoon 6, Weyburn 3, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Okay. Heading for the bottom of the 6th inning at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. 6-3 Saskatoon leads Weyburn. Keaton Husband back out for a 2nd inning of work for the Beavers. He'll face the number 9 hitter Evan Janner. And then the top of the order, Carter Beck and Ethan Menard. Janner reached on an error, the only one that Weyburn's committed so far in the game, and scored back in the 2-run 4th inning for Saskatoon. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Came into the game on a 3-game hitting streak, still 6 for 15 even with the 0 for 2 tonight. So 400 in that time with a couple of home runs and 7 RBI. Evan's still looking for his first hit of the season head-to-head against the Weyburn Beavers. He is 0 for 11 with a couple of RBI. Left-handed hitter from New Braunfels, Texas, shows bunt and takes a strike. Janner, an outfielder. Outside, ball 1. Evan Janner coming off his sophomore year at the University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley. On the outside corner, strike 2. 1-2 the count. Janner this past winter season in college. Hit .271 for UTRGV as he looks at the ball down and away. Ball 2, 2-2. 13 hits and 48 at-bats, 3 home runs and 8 RBI. This one's well hit, knocked down by Mayencourt, the first baseman. Now it's a race to the bag, and Janner wins it. Mayencourt thought he got there with the left foot, but Janner dove and gets in there, according to the first base umpire, Justin Anderson. That was a hot shot that Mayencourt knocked down on the one hop and then couldn't win the race. And Janner gets himself that first hit of the season against Weyburn, and the Berries' 8th hit of the night. And now he's on the go to second, and he'll get in there. The throw into center field. He gets up and he's heading for third base. And he'll get in there safely, as it's a throwing error to the catcher, Rob Gurney. So a stolen base and an error, as Evan Janner has picked up stolen base number 20 on the season. Leads the team. Pitch to Beck was a strike. So now Carter Beck has a man on third to try and drive in. Infield in. Ball hit sharply right at the shortstop Tanabe. Good play. And he's able to throw Beck out. And Janner has to hold his spot at third base. First time the Beavers have gotten Beck out tonight. He's 3 for 4. Now Ethan Menard, who's looking for his first hit of the night. 0 for 1 officially. Hit by a pitch, scored a run in the first inning, struck out in the second, drove in a run in the fourth inning with a sacrifice fly. In fact, he drove in Janner with a sac fly in the fourth. Weyburn with the infield in, still with one away. First pitch swinging, pops it up on the infield. Braden Mayencourt settling under it, makes the catch. And there's 2 away, as Menard not happy with himself for making it out without getting the runner home. So now with 2 away, Abian Medina will try his luck. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts and a walk and a run scored back in the first inning. Keaton Husband trying to stop this little Berries uprising, keep it at 6-3. First pitch curve is slow. Curve is in for a strike to Abian Medina. Left-handed hitter from Ponce, Puerto Rico. Another slow breaking ball outside this time, 1-1. Mason Rell, the third baseman, on deck. 1-1 pitch is down and in, ball 2, 2-1. Husband to the belt, 2-1 pitch with 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Slow breaking pitch is called strike. 2-2. 2-2 pitch is fouled off towards the Berries' first base dugout. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4th time around for the Berries lineup with a 3-run lead. That scoreboard, right field, has 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs across the top line. Down low, good block by catcher Rob Gurney. Full count. Evan Janner on third. Beat out a ball at first base. Stole the base. Went to third on the throwing error. Now would like to come home. And a 3-2 pitch is outside and a ball 4 walk. So Medina is on. It'll bring up Mason Rell, who singled and drove in Carter Beck with the Berries' 6th run back in the 4th inning. Is now Cam Williams, the head coach, comes out to chat with Keaton Husband. There's nobody warming up down the left field line in the Weyburn bullpen, although Braden Mayencourt can pitch. So can Zach Tanabe. They both have done so. And we may see some sort of position change possibly, although I kind of doubt it. I don't know that Husband plays any position. He's going to stay. Home plate umpire Blake Tilley comes out and breaks up the meeting. Mason Rell is 1 for 2 tonight. Hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. Drove in a run with that hit batsman back in the first. Singled and drove in a run in the fourth. Struck out in the second. He's 5 for 22 head-to-head against Weyburn this year, which is .227, but he has 9 runs batted in. Medina heading for second, and Gurney looked like he was going to throw the ball through to second base and lost it in the transfer, so Medina steals second, puts runners on second and third. The pitch was a strike to Rell. So now 2 runners in scoring position as the slow curve is inside, 1-1. Ethan Murdoch, the right fielder, is on deck. Keaton Husband's 1-1 pitch. Rell fouls it up the third baseline. 1-2. Bottom of the 6th inning. At Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, 6-3. Saskatoon leads Weyburn. First of 2 games between these teams here at Next Gen Patch. Cairns Field. Second last head-to-head meeting of the season between the two. Breaking ball down low. 2-2 the count on Rell. 2-2 the count. Popped up, straight up. Catcher Rob Gurney coming back towards the backstop will make the catch, and that ends the inning. The Berries get a couple of players in position, scoring position, but can't bring them in. And after 6 complete, it is Saskatoon 6 and Weyburn 3 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Your unofficial line score through 6 innings here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. For the Saskatoon Berries, 6 runs on 8 hits. They've committed 4 errors. They've left 7 runners on base. For the Weyburn Beavers, 3 runs on 5 hits. They've committed 2 errors, and they've left 5 runners on base. As we head to the top of the 7th inning, Diego Quinones is back out for another inning for the Berries on in relief. There is some stretching going on down the right field line in the Saskatoon bullpen. But Quinones will face the 9th hitter, Mitch Himmelsbach, the second baseman, then the top of the order, center fielder Ryan Muselar, and first baseman Braden Mayencourt. Here in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to Himmelsbach is in for a strike. Himmelsbach 0 for 2. Quinones pours another fastball in for strike 2. Quinones kicks and delivers again. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And it's back-to-back strikeouts for Quinones. He struck out Breaker Smith to finish off the 6th inning and gets Himmelsbach swinging here to lead off the top of the 7th. So now Ryan Muselar to the plate. He's 0 for 3. 3 for 17 head-to-head against the Berries this season. Swing and a miss, strike 1 on a slider. Braden Mayencourt will be up next. Here's a line drive, but right at Westland, who'll make the catch. And there's 2 away.
Move it. It's got a commercial. I thought it was here. Sorry. Wish I could stop it. Sorry.
It's okay.
I just did it like now. So.
Mayencourt now takes a strike. He's 0 for 3. He's had better success against the Berries this year than most anybody on this roster. 10 for 25, hitting .400, but he looks at strike 2, the 4th-year veteran.
Oh, it's so bad. 5.
So here's Quinones, and Mayencourt able to foul it off. And we are back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. We had a little technical glitch. Took us off for a minute. 2 away here in the top of the 7th inning. 2 strikes. Braden Mayencourt with a little chip shot at the center field. That's a base hit for him. And hit number 6 of the night for the Weyburn Beavers as they have a man on first base. So up comes Ryan Daphne now, who's 2 for 3, singled in each of the 4th and 6th innings, scored in the 6th. Daphne 11 for 32 this season against the Berries head-to-head, over .333. Where's that trusty calculator? Pitched low and away, ball 1. There's the trusty calculator. 11 for 32 is .344. Daphne has been effective against the Berries. That pitch down low, 2-0. Trevor Dale, the third baseman, on deck. 6-3, Saskatoon with the lead. Weyburn hanging in, getting a good relief outing from Keaton Husband through the last 2 innings. In for a strike on Daphne, 2-1. Ryan Daphne from Surrey, BC. 2-1 pitch, fouled back onto the screen high, 2-2. The announced attendance for tonight is 2,004. That's 3 straight games with at least 2,000 in attendance here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Berries with the number 2 attendance in the WCBL behind only Okotoks. They'll check swing and check over at first on the appeal and then not granted. So it's a full count on Daphne with Mayencourt at first. Diego Quinones looking to finish it off here in the top of the 7th. Mayencourt with 2 away should be running with the pitch. He is, and Daphne lashes a base hit into left field. Janner takes it on the 1 hop in left field and gets the ball back into the infield. Mayencourt up to second. Daphne with 3 hits now tonight. 3 of the 7 hits that the Weyburn Beavers have had. So here's Trevor Dale, who's 1 for 3. Singled in the 2nd, grounded into a double play, reached on an error back last inning, and scored. has a 6-game hitting streak as a result. Down and away, ball 1 to Trevor Dale. 8 for 23 is Dale in that time. 7 for 29 head-to-head against the Berries, just under 250 for the season series. 241 is that average. 1-0 pitch. Fouled back. 1-1. Quinones is stretched out so he can throw a lot of pitches, being a starter in his previous 8 appearances. He threw 25 pitches unofficially in the 6th inning. With a couple of players getting on after he got the first 2 guys out, that pitch count coming up even a little bit more for him in relief. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1-2 the count. So now Simon Hyatt, the PA announcer here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, urging the crowd to get very loud. Help Quinones get that 3rd strike, that 3rd out here in the top of the 7th inning. Fouled off, out of play, over top of the first base bleachers. Trevor Dale hangs in at 1-2. Luke Malzewski, the left fielder, is on deck. Braden Mayencourt, the runner at second base. Ryan Doffney on first for Weyburn. 1-2 the count on Trevor Dale with 2 away in the top of the 7th inning. Quinones delivers. This one is hit. Little looper, but it'll be caught at shortstop by Cooper Westland. Kind of a humpback liner. Not nearly with the velocity that Ryan Muselar's hit had earlier. And that's the end of the top of the 7th inning. No runs on 2 hits. There were no Berries errors. 2 runners left on base after 6.5 as we head to the 7th inning stretch. It is the Saskatoon Berries 6, the Weyburn Beavers 3, as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Elsewhere tonight in the Western Canadian Baseball League, in the bottom of the 6th inning, Sylvan Lake at home leads Energy City 5-0. Top of the 7th inning, Medicine Hats up 7-4 in Swift Current. Top of the 8th, Lethbridge leads in Brooks 4-1. And in the top of the 6th, Moose Jaw at home has an 8-2 lead on Regina. We're into the bottom of the 7th inning here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field. Saskatoon Berries with a 6-3 lead on the Weyburn Beavers. Keaton Husband out again to pitch for Weyburn, and his first pitch to Ethan Murdoch is a slow breaking ball in there for a strike. Murdoch singled in the first inning and drove in a run. 1 for 3. Pitch bounced in, ball 1. Catcher Gurney missed it, and that caught Blake Tilley, the home plate umpire, on the left leg, left knee. A little smart a little. Murdoch 9 for 33 now on the season against Weyburn, hitting .300. Breaking pitch in there for a strike, 1-2. That's not .300. My math has to be better. .273 Murdoch head-to-head against Weyburn this year. 1-2 pitch. He swings at that breaking ball and sends it foul past third base. Count holds at 1-2. Corey Waters on deck, then Cooper Westland due to hit this inning. Again fouled off by Murdoch. Count holds at 1-2. Husband shaking off a couple of signs from catcher Rob Gurney. 1-2 pitched. Breaking ball down low and inside, 2-2. Action down the right field line in the Berries bullpen. I expect we'll see a new pitcher coming out for the top of the 8th inning. Nobody down in the left field Weyburn bullpen. His husband is inside again. And it's a full count on Ethan Murdoch. Noah McCombs is warming up for the Berries down the right field line. Murdoch pops the pitch up towards the backstop. Gurney heads over and will make the catch. It's back-to-back plays that Rob Gurney has made on foul balls around the home plate area. First out here for Saskatoon in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll bring up Corey Waters. 2 for 3, singled and drove in 2 runs in the 1st inning, singled in the 3rd, grounded out his last time up in the 5th inning. Facing Keaton Husband for the 2nd time. He was the first man to face Husband back in the bottom of the 5th inning. First pitch from Husband to Waters is just outside, ball 1. Waters on the ground. This will get under the glove of the shortstop Tanabe into left field. I'd have to think that's an error on the shortstop Tanabe. Error number 3 on the night for the Weyburn Beavers. And with 1 away, the Berries have a base runner. It'll bring up, Cooper Westland coming up. Westland is 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out in the 1st and a couple of fly balls since. Would like to. First pitch is fouled back, strike 1. Rudy Gonzalez, the catcher, on deck for the Berries. Keaton, the husband, with a man on first and heading off as this one's hit in the air to right field. Waters will have to retreat as the catch is made and the throw back to first base. Waters able to slide back in safely as good arms exhibited from right field by Ryan Doffney to try and catch Waters straying off the bag. 2 away. It'll be Rudy Gonzalez, who's 0 for 3. He's had a similar night to Westland. Struck out in the 1st and a couple of fly ball outs since. 0 for 3 for Rudy. Waters at first. He was taking off at that last pitch. First one to Gonzalez, low and away, ball 1. Evan Janner on deck. Keaton Husband's 1-0 pitch. Down low, 2-0. Noah McCombs continues to warm up down the right field line for the Berries. 2-0 pitch. Gonzalez fouls it off into the screen, 2-1. Diego Quinones threw 45 pitches, or has thrown 45 pitches in 2 innings. Hence my belief that he will be out of the game and Noah McCombs will be coming on here in the top of the 8th. But we'll wait and see what head coach Joe Carnahan has in mind. Called strike, a throw down to first, and Waters dives back into the bag safely. And there's that top line on the Next Gen Patch scoreboard here at Cairns Field. Deuce is wild on the top line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 6-3 the score. Saskatoon with the lead. Slow breaking ball. Down low. Full count. Waters takes off. Gonzalez turns on one. That's a fly ball into medium depth left field, and it's caught there by the left fielder Luke Malzewski to end the inning. But in the bottom of the 7th, should say, no runs, no hits, 1 Weyburn error, 1 runner left on base. After 7 complete here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, it's Saskatoon 6, Weyburn 3. As you're watching Barry's baseball on FloCollege. Nope. New pitcher. Pitching change now here for the Saskatoon Berries in the top of the 8th inning. Noah McCombs coming into the ball game after a couple of innings from Diego Quinones. McCombs will make his 11th appearance of the season. He has 1 win, 1 loss, a 2.02 earned run average, 13 1/3 innings in 10 relief appearances this year. He's allowed 10 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, struck out 9, and walked 3. Noah McCombs is from Olathe, Kansas, coming off his freshman year at Hutchison Junior College. 6'3", 205-pound right-hander. And he'll face Weyburn's numbers 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Luke Malzewski, the left fielder, shortstop Zach Tanabe, and catcher Rob Gurney. Malzewski is 1 for 3. First pitch from McCombs gets away from Gonzalez to the backstop and down low, ball 1. Malzewski doubled and scored in the 4th inning. That was the first Weyburn run. Reached on an error his last time up in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Pitch called a strike high in the zone to Malzewski, 1-1. 3-run lead for the Berries. On the ground, over top of the glove. Medina picks it up, throws on to first in time by a step to get Malzewski on a slow hit balancing ball that got past the pitcher. But Medina makes the play, and there's 1 away. Zach Tanabe now coming up. The shortstop is 1 for 3 tonight. 7 for 30 on the year against the Berries, with 3 RBI, including 1 tonight, a single in the 4th inning that brought home Malzewski. McCombs' first pitch to Tanabe is a strike. Tanabe from Hawaii. Fouls a pitch off. First base side. That looks like that's going to be in the first base bleachers. And a fan had it caught but couldn't hold it. Not sure who gets it in the end, but it's quickly 2 strikes on Zach Tanabe here in the top of the 8th inning. Darkness starting to fall here. Swing and a miss. Strikeout. 2 away. McCombs gets himself a K. They call it mainly sunny still at the airport. It's basically now clear skies with darkness falling. 19 degrees Celsius. Barely a wind. Northwest at 3. So essentially calm conditions going on here in Saskatoon. As Rob Gurney, the catcher, at the plate. First pitch in for a strike from McCombs. Gurney 0 for 3. Reached on an error his last time up in the 6th inning. That actually brought in a run. McCombs put a little extra into that and got away from him all the way to the backstop, 1-1. Gurney back into the right-hand batter's box. McCombs gets his sign, delivers inside, 2-1. Came close to hitting Gurney there. He was able to get out of the way. Rob Gurney's been hit 8 times already this year. 2-1 pitch from McCombs. And a slider that's in for a strike. 2-2. Again, that top line of the scoreboard in right field is deuces wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. McCombs' pitch is outside. Full count. I think every time I've mentioned the 2-2-2, it's been a ball. We have not had the strikeout or an out made. It's the strange things like that that I notice. Makes you shake your head and wonder what is going on with you. 3-2 pitch. Gurney pops this one up. Medina settles under it. Shallow right field, makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3. Top of the 8th inning for Noah McCombs in relief here for the Saskatoon Berries. No runs, no hits, no Berries errors, nobody left on base after 7.5. Saskatoon 6, Weyburn 3 as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Yep. Bottom of the 8th inning. Here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field, Keaton Husband back out on the mound in relief for the Berries, or for the Weyburn Beavers. Starting pitcher Connor Knipp through the first 4 innings. And it's been Keaton Husband, the Weyburn product, ever since. He's pitched effectively. He has not allowed a run. Berries have managed 3 hits off of him. Actually, Evan Janner at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Reached on an error and scored in the 4th. Singled, stole a base, and was left on 3rd back in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Janner and then the top of the order, Carter Beck and Nathan Menard for the Berries. Couple of more runs would be nice. That one's on the outside corner, strike 2. Husband quickly ahead of Janner. Actually, Husband's only allowed the one hit and has one walk allowed. Yet to strike out anybody. Came close there, but that pitch holds outside, 1-2. Connor Nipp struck out 6 in his 4 innings of work. Different arsenal of pitches here from the second pitcher. Janner fouls that off as it bounces out in towards the mound, but it was off of Janner and had crazy English on it. Count holds 1-2. The young fans, you can hear "Let's Go Berries" going from them. 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Warming up down the right field line is Zach Laird for the Berries. And that one is out or inside, close. But home plate umpire Blake Tilley did not give Keaton Husband the strike. 2-strike pitch coming up. Swing and a miss, strike 3. One away here in the top of the 9th inning. Joe and Junick, yep, and maybe Beck. Yep. So now we have a pinch hitter here for Weyburn. As Laird with his first pitch up high, ball 1. Into the game to pinch hit is number 50, and we don't have a number 50 on the roster. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Whoever it is takes a healthy cut. Owen Mayencourt is the batter. That pitch, check swing. They're going to call that a strike, even though the ball looked like it hit him in the foot. But it count now 0-2 on Owen Mayencourt, who's on to pinch hit for Mitch Himmelsbach. The number 9 hitter was 0 for 3 tonight in his debut with the Beavers. Zach Laird's 1-2 pitch. Fastball up high, 2-2. Laird gets set. 2-strike pitch. And Owen Mayencourt, look out. That's a hot shot. Breaking pitch, strike 3 called. 2 away. It'll bring up Ryan Muselar, the center fielder who's 0 for 4 tonight. Laird's first pitch to Muselar is in there for a strike. Zach Laird looking for a second save on the year. Actually, he's not in line for a save. It's a 4-run game. And Muselar hits a line drive into right field, keeps Weyburn alive. 2 outs and a runner now on first. 8th hit of the season. So now Braden Mayencourt, the first baseman coming up, singled his last time up in the 7th inning, 1 for 4 tonight. Lefty pitcher Laird against lefty hitter Mayencourt. Barries with a 4-run lead, looking to wrap up their 42nd win of the year. Big swing and a miss by Braden Mayencourt, strike 1. Laird to the rosin bag, now back up on the hill, back with his foot on the rubber. A 1-strike pitch up coming to Mayencourt, and that's in for a strike. Beavers down to their last strike. And again, PA announcer Simon Hyatt says, get on your feet, get loud, bring it on home, he says. Laird would like to do that. 2 strikes, 2 out. Breaking pitch outside, good block by Rudy Gonzalez, 1-2. These same teams will play tomorrow night back here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field at 7 o'clock. But first, the Berries have to try and finish this one off. Laird ready to go. 1-2 the count. Strike 3 called. Laird strikes out the side, gives up a single to Ryan Muselar. No runs, 1 hit. No Berries errors, and 1 runner left on base. The Saskatoon Berries win their 42nd game of the year and clinch no worse than a tie for first place overall in the Western Canadian Baseball League with 7 games left to go in the season. Your final again tonight, the Saskatoon Berries 7 and the Weyburn Beavers 3. Stand by, we'll be back with the final totals from tonight's game as you're watching Berries baseball on FloCollege. Your final totals from tonight's game here at Next Gen Patch at Cairns Field for the Saskatoon Berries.